Great Britain and the United States, loud shouts of votes for women greeted the arrival of the 20th century. The suffragettes chalked their slogans on walls, organized parades, and even risked imprisonment. Women were fed up being the inferior sex. Today, the campaigns of the suffragettes belong to history. In the last 50 years, there has been a revolutionary change in the status of women. In most parts of the Western world, women can vote, own property, and practice any profession within their capabilities. Most important gain was the self-respect and assurance that came with political equality. They now feel they're on an equal footing with the opposite sex. Man, for his part, is still adjusting himself to the idea. An anti-feminist once argued that women were inferior because they had smaller brains. But today, honors and scholarships in every subject on the curriculum have gone to women students. In high school and college, they receive the same education as men and have qualified for almost every profession. Knowledge has given women a new place in the sun. Yet, prejudice against the recognition of women's rights still lingers. In the field of public affairs, women like Senator Cairine Wilson and modern suffragette Madame Casgrain carry on the fight against lower wage rates and legal and unwritten discrimination. Science, too, is giving intelligent women the chance to show their powers. Eager to share in the new world and to exploit its possibilities are women who have proven themselves equal to any of the exacting tasks that the sciences demand. Helen Hogg is one of Canada's 30 professional astronomers, 6 of whom are women. She and her husband follow the same careers, working together in the Dunlap Observatory. While the world sleeps, she is busy with telescope and camera, probing the mysteries of the universe. Most masculine of all professions is surely that of the engineer. Yet slender, red-haired Elsie McGill, an aircraft designer, produced the famous Hurricane Fighter for Canada. Elementary, my dear Watson, Sherlock Holmes used to exclaim after a brilliant deduction. But today, the cold certainty of science is providing shortcuts to crime solution. Verda Vincent, provincial pathologist for Ontario, brings her skill to bear on a murder case. She tests bloodstains found on an axe. Should the solution turn black, the sample is human blood beyond a doubt. Wheat Queen of America is the proud title of Amy Kelsey of Erickson, British Columbia. The Chicago International Grain Exposition has judged her reward wheat finest on the continent. When you're dealing with North Country miners, you're not dealing with softies. Tech Township is He-Man's territory. Yet Mrs. Ann Shipley, mother of 2 children, finds time to be reeve of one of Ontario's rugged gold mining districts and is proving that enterprising women can handle tough jobs of administration. During the war, Byrne Hope Saunders worked with the government on price control of consumer goods. Editor of a woman's magazine, she represented the viewpoint of the feminine half of the nation, who managed to spend 8 out of every $10 earned in Canada. The name of parliamentary reporter Evelyn Tufts of Halifax and others like Margaret Healy, Vera Kelly, Margaret Ecker Francis, and Doris Milligan are well-known bylines in the newspapers of the nation. "50 feet below the surface of Toronto Harbor, one of Canada's best-known radio reporters gets an on-the-spot interview with a diver. Familiar to listeners coast to coast is the voice of Claire Wallace. A bestseller in 2 languages is The Tin Flute, first novel by Gabrielle Roy. Critics have hailed it as a sympathetic study of the life in the St. Henry district of Montreal. And among many bringing fame to Canada in the world of music are symphony conductor Ethel Stark and Nova Scotia's Portia White. And who doesn't know Barbara Ann Scott? Wherever you go, the women of today are proving that they can do most of the jobs that keep the world turning. Typical of the age we live in is Violet Milstead, a flying instructor. Beauty, however, is still one of the chief attributes of women. Madge Johnson models the latest thing in play suits for commercial photographer Geraldine Carpenter. Designer Maxine Samuels follows a traditional calling of women, while Dorothy Alt from Manitoba entertains on the airwaves. Publisher and motion picture distributor Ray Lewis has successfully combined marriage and a career. Such women are earning credit and applause for their role in everyday affairs. And what of marriage as a full-time career? It's more popular than ever. For every 8 women who married in grandmother's day, 12 choose marriage today. And for the same reasons: children and a home of their own. But the woman who has been educated on equal terms with her brothers may have a new attitude towards marriage. It is no longer her only concern. She has been encouraged to develop a live interest in current affairs, literature, and the arts, and to offset the limitations of what might be a lonely and monotonous round of household chores, she is seeking new ways to organize her time for the happiness of herself and her family. Bringing up baby is a science in itself, and mothers want time out to study and make use of the new methods and discoveries in this field. The woman of today is trying to solve her problems in the way of the 20th century. Around her, she sees household aids of modern design: pressure cookers, freezers, tiny garbage disposal units, lightweight irons, and a host more. And she wants them all. But for many, the ideal kitchen is still only a dream. Caring for Junior when mother has something else to do is another problem. This was primarily the concern of the working mothers, but is becoming a problem for all active mothers. Women are asking for more nurseries and play schools. For those who can afford it, diaper service is a blessing. The laundry club, too, eases the burden, and with its opportunity for a bit of friendly gossip, helps solve the problem of isolation. Husbands and wives who share common interests in and out of the home seldom end their marriages in the divorce courts. In homes where there is more cooperation between the parents, the children have a greater chance of happiness. But to meet the challenge of these changing times, women are depending largely on their own efforts. The hopes and dreams of thousands of individual women are finding strong expression in united action. Organizations like the National Council of Women, the IODE, and the Women's Institutes are studying schemes for community planning, schemes that will provide more attractive homes, more sensibly designed working equipment, and more time to enjoy those things which help to make up the good life. Whether it's careers or cradles or both, the woman of today in every field of activity welcomes these new plans for better living. Although she will never abandon her role as wife and mother, she looks forward to a greater share in the world of today and tomorrow. A world which can be an adventure in happiness.